Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today we're going to be making lime and chicken soup. As the temperature starts dropping here in the northern hemisphere, it's time to get out those stock pots or Dutch ovens as I've got here today, and we're going to make some soup. I really like soup year round, but as the temperature drops it just feels like it's a natural thing to start doing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my chicken breast here. I've got 2 chicken breasts. I did weigh my chicken breast here, and the 2 of these weigh just under 2 pounds. So we're going to put those into our pot. All right, so now that I've got my chicken breast in the pot, I'm going to go ahead and add water. I want 10 cups of water, and I've got 2 here. And I'll go ahead and add the rest of them to get me 10 cups. Now I've got all 10 cups of my water here in my Dutch oven. One of the things that I did off camera earlier that you might want to do is you want to roast a whole bulb of garlic. So if you haven't checked that video on how I roast my garlic, I'll put that link in the description box. And we're going to take this and I'll show you what this looks like. You want to cook these until these are really, really soft. And we're going to use 5 of these, or just as many as you like. So what you want to do with these is you want to pop them apart, and they're going to be really soft. And at that point, you can just squeeze out the garlic in the middle of them there, just like that. And we're just going to put that in, and we're going to get 5 of those, and we're going to put those into our pot. All right, now that we've got our garlic in our pot here, we'll go ahead and start with our other ingredients. And I've got 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and we'll go ahead and put that in. And I've got 1/2 teaspoon of thyme here. We'll go ahead and add that in. That's dried thyme. I've got 3 bay leaves. We'll go ahead and put those in. I've got 2 teaspoons of salt. We'll add that in. I've got 3 whole cloves, and we'll add those in. And lastly, I've got 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper, and we'll add that in. Now we're just going to kind of give that a stir just a little bit to incorporate all that into our liquid. All right, now that we've got our seasoning all incorporated into our stock now, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next step. We want to bring this up to a simmer. And like I said before, I've got this up on medium. And while this is coming up to a simmer, I've got an onion here. You can use either red, or I've got the yellow one here. You can use white one, whichever one you want to do. And I've got a bell pepper here. You can either use the yellow one like I've got, or the orange, or red, or the green ones, whichever one you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and start dicing these up off camera. All right, I am back, and my chicken and the stock has come up to a simmer now. I wanted you to see what that looked like here. So I'm going to turn it down to a medium low, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that down now. And I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm just going to leave it open just on the side so it can vent just a little bit. And we need to cook that now until our chicken is done, which should take about 30-35 minutes. So let it cook, test it. You'll be able to tell when it's done by the temperature of the chicken internally if you want to do it that way, or you can take it out and look at it and see. So I'm going to take the internal temperature of mine, and I'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. I've got my bell pepper cut up now and my onions. So we're going to wait now for our chicken to get done, and then we'll move on to our next step. I am back, and it's been about 30-35 minutes now, and I wanted to show you what my chicken looked like now. It is done. I did check the internal temperature of my chicken, and the USDA says that chicken needs to be 165 or above for it to be done. So I did check that. I checked that in the thickest part of where the chicken was, and it did meet that standard. So I'm going to go ahead and take my chicken out of my stock now. You can see where that's cooked nicely and it's coming apart. We definitely want that to happen. All right, now that I've got my chicken out, I've got it on a plate here. I want this to cool down because we're going to shred it in just a few minutes. You don't want to cut into it now while it's hot because all the juice will come out of it. You want to let it sit and cool down. That way you can handle it a little bit easier. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to continue to work on my stock now. So I've got my colander here. I don't know if you saw my video, my previous video. I just put it out, and you'll see that this is really nice. It is a colander with a bowl in the bottom of it. And I'm going to be using this today to drain my stock. I need to get all of the bay leaves and the cloves and everything out of there. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in there and drain it out so that I get all of that out of there, and we're left with a nice stock. So I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to put it into my colander here, and we're going to come back and we're going to move on to our next step. I've got my stock out of my Dutch oven now, and I've got it here, and you can see what this looks like with the stock. I'm going to go over and just set this on the stove just to get this out of my way here. All right, now I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm going to go in here and just kind of wipe the stock pot down a little bit. I don't want to make sure there's any moisture left in here because now we're going to be sauteing our onions and our bell peppers. And with that oil, you don't want any moisture left in there because oil and water don't mix when you're cooking. You don't want that splattering all over you. So just kind of give that a little wipe down, make sure that all the water's out of it, and then we will move on to the next step. All right, now that I've got my stock pot dried out, we're going to move on now, and we're going to go ahead and saute our onions and our bell peppers. And I've got a can of tomatoes over there. You just want to put a tablespoon or 2 of oil in the bottom of your pot, and that way your vegetables can saute. So let's go ahead and grab our onions. Now that we've got our onions in, let's go ahead and add our bell peppers. All right, now let's add our diced tomatoes in. This is a 14.5 ounce or 411 gram can of diced tomatoes, and we will add those in. All right, now that we've got that all mixed together now, we're going to wait for that to come up to temperature so we can go ahead and get that started sauteing. And I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to saute this until everything gets really soft, almost mushy, to the point so maybe 7-8 minutes. We'll take a look at it and see. It might be done a little bit faster. Your stovetop might cook a little bit faster, so definitely keep a watch on those. We want these to cook down and be just a mushy when they're done. All right, I am back, and I wanted to show you that this is cooked down nicely. Let me grab a fork here and I'll see what this looks like with these bell peppers. A few more minutes and they'll be done. So I want those bell peppers to cook just a little bit more. The onions are looking pretty good and the tomatoes look good, but the bell peppers need just a little bit more time. So I'm gonna leave that down on low and let that continue to cook. And then I'm gonna come over here to the side and I'm gonna start working on my chicken. So I'm gonna grab one of these chicken breasts that I've got here and just gonna take a knife and just gonna kind of cut it up into pieces. And that way it'll make it a little bit easier for me to shred. It's still pretty warm. Put these gloves on too to kind of help with that too. All right, so now that I've got that, you can see you can just take your hands and you can just push it apart like that. So I'm gonna pull all of the chicken apart. I'm gonna shred it just like that. And then we'll move on to our next step. All right, I am back. I've got my chicken shredded now and my onions and my bell peppers are where I want those to be. So now we're just going to add back in the chicken and we're going to put that in back into the pot. All right, we've got our chicken in the pot now. Let's kind of give that a little bit of a mix through. And now I'm going to grab my stock and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I've got my stock. We're going to add that back in now. You can see that is a nice chicken stock that we've got there. So now that everything's incorporated together, we want that to heat back up again. We want our chicken and our stock to heat back up. And we want it to take all those extra flavors that we've got from those onions and that bell pepper and those tomatoes and get all melded together. And we're looking maybe another 10 minutes and then we'll be ready to eat this. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this now, let this heat back up. And while we're doing that, I'm going to work on our tortillas and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those. All right, now that we've got our soup warming back up again, we're going to work on our tortillas. So what I have here, I've got some white corn tortillas. You can use the yellow ones if you want to use those. This is completely optional if you don't want to put these in there. I really like them in mine. So I've got my air fryer here and I'm going to be using that today, but you can definitely, if you don't have an air fryer, you can put these in the oven and bake these. I'm going to put these in this air fryer for about 350 and we're going to crisp these up a little bit, but you can put them on a baking sheet with some parchment paper or some foil and cut them up and put them in your oven, preheat your oven to 350, and you just want to kind of toast them a little bit to get them a little brown. So what we're going to do with these, and I'll show you what this is once I get them cut into little strips, is I've just cut them into strips like this. They're about 1/2 inch. If you want them smaller, you can definitely do that. If you want to cut these in half, that's another option you can do. And what we're going to do, because I've got my air fryer here, is you can cook as many of these as you think you'll need. I've got a couple here that I'm going to do. So if you're just cooking for yourself, you can maybe cook a couple of these. These are for garnish for your soup once it's done. Or if you're making for your family, then definitely if everybody wants one, you can definitely cook as many as you've got. And we're going to put that in the bottom, like I said, of this air fryer. All right, so I've got my tortillas in the bottom of the air fryer here, and I've got my oil sprayer. If you haven't seen that video on this oil sprayer, I'll put that link in that description box. It's something you might want to check out. If you've got the other kind of spray, you can definitely do that. We just want to kind of give it just a light coating on the top. And I'm going to put this back in my air fryer on 350. And we're just going to keep a watch on these. They may be 5 minutes. A couple of minutes into it, turn them over so that they can get evenly cooked on the other side. And what you want to do is just kind of crisp those up a little bit. You don't want them to get really dark and brown because we're going to be putting them on the top of our soup and you'll be eating that with your soup. So I'll get these cooked. We'll get our soup warmed back up again, and we'll come back and we'll get a bowl and garnish it up and be ready to take that taste test. Stick with me. So these crisped up really nicely. I'm gonna put these on this plate now. All right, my chips here did crisp up rather nicely. I wanted to show you what those look like. That's about 10 minutes at 350 in my air fryer. And so you want to do that in your oven. If you don't have an air fryer, you can definitely put them in your oven and do that. You just want them so that they're nice and crispy. You don't want them really browned or anything. I really like these that way. You can definitely make potato chips out of these if you just take them and just kind of crisp them up in the oven. So if you've got some extra tortillas, you can definitely continue to make these and put them with some salsa. I've got a great salsa recipe on my channel. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. This would be great with those. So now I've got just a little bit of cilantro that I've got here, and I want to kind of chop up a little bit of that. I'm going to use this for garnish on our soup. I'm going to go ahead and turn my soup off because it is ready. And I've got a lime here, and we're going to take that and I'm just going to cut it. All right, now that we've got our lime cut up, let's get us a bowl and give this a taste. I wanted to show you what this looked like one last time. This is really good, and you can see how meaty this soup is. It is really nice. If you want to put more chicken in it, you definitely can. If you like a meatier soup, you can definitely do that. This has quite a bit in it. So let's go ahead and get us a nice bowl of this soup. That looks really good. This soup is going to be delicious. I can tell by the way it's smelling that it's going to be incredible. So we'll take our lime that we got here, and we want to squeeze some of that juice into the top of our soup, and then we'll take some of the cilantro and we'll kind of put that on the top, and then we'll take some of our tortilla shells that we've cut up here, and we just want to kind of stick those around, and you can put those in the bowl however you like them. If you want to lay them on the top, you definitely can do that. And I've got me a clean spoon here. Look at this. This looks absolutely delicious. This is nice and hearty. It looks really good. The smell is incredible. I'm gonna get one of these little tortillas here on the side. I love those. I love these in this soup. You're definitely going to want to try this one. This is an absolute winner. It is absolutely delicious. And in those cooler days, what better than a little bit of lime and chicken soup with some of your toasted tostados or tortillas on the side here. If you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And check out one of these other two videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you tried the soup. I want to know what you think about it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.